What if the ancient secrets of creating your dream life were never lost, just hidden in plain sight? What if the power to shape your reality wasn't just about effort or luck, but something far more mystical, passed down in whispers by secret societies who understood the language of the universe? Welcome to the hidden world of manifestation, the kind you were never taught in school. For centuries, certain elite circles, often cloaked in mystery and ritual, have preserved sacred knowledge that was never meant for the general public. Among these closely guarded teachings is the profound art of manifestation. But what exactly do these secret societies know? And why has this knowledge remained concealed from everyday seekers? At its core, manifestation is not just about wishing for something and hoping it magically appears. It's about creating resonance between your inner world and the external universe. It's about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions into a coherent frequency, a signal that the universe recognizes and responds to. It all begins with intention. But an intention is not just a goal or a passing desire. It's a beacon, a spiritual lighthouse. It sends out a steady, unwavering pulse into the quantum field, a coded message that says, "This is the reality I'm ready to create." The ancient mystics knew this. They taught that emotion isn't just a reaction to life, it's the raw material from which life is made. When we feel deeply, we're not just experiencing something, we're transmitting it. We're painting with energy. Let's go deeper. In esoteric traditions like those upheld by the Rosicrucians, emotions were viewed as sacred tools of transformation. These weren't just feelings to be managed, they were forces to be harnessed. They believed that emotions could serve as a bridge between the metaphysical and the material, carrying our desires from the invisible into the visible world. Think of your emotions as messengers delivering your truest, most unspoken desires into the ether. Every wave of joy, every tear of longing, every whisper of gratitude creates a ripple in the cosmic sea. And like an echo across time and space, that ripple returns, bringing with it the manifested outcome of your emotional energy. There's a powerful quote often attributed to the Hermetic order of the Golden Dawn. In the pulsations of the emotional sea, we find the genesis of worlds and the palettes of creation. Let that sink in. These aren't poetic metaphors. They're spiritual physics. The ancients were trying to tell us the emotional frequency you radiate has the power to construct or destroy your reality. To feel joyful anticipation towards a dream is to send out a blueprint to the universe. It's not passive daydreaming, it's an act of spiritual architecture. Your emotions become brushstrokes on the canvas of creation, coloring the world you wish to live in. But here's the catch. Mastery doesn't come from feeling alone. It comes from guiding those feelings intentionally. To dream with purpose is to engage in dialogue with the universe. And emotions, they are the very words of that conversation. Every pulse of joy, every note of hope, every surge of love is a vibrational code, a message sent across unseen realms, drawing toward you the energies that match its signature. This is why secret societies revered emotions, not as weaknesses, but as instruments of divine will. When you begin to see your emotional state as a compass and a conduit, you tap into the same current that ancient mystics used to shape kingdoms, attract prosperity, and influence destiny. But the teachings go even deeper. Among the lesser-known but profoundly mystical principles is the energetic orb theory, a concept passed quietly through secret orders and alchemical manuscripts. Though it may sound abstract at first, it holds a remarkably practical message. Imagine, if you will, two orbs of energy orbiting your being. One is luminous, radiating positivity, vitality, and hope. The other is shadowy, dense with fear, doubt, and despair. These energy balls are not metaphorical. They are subtle structures formed by your cumulative thoughts and emotional habits. Every moment, every emotional response, every mental repetition feeds one of these orbs. When you indulge in joy, gratitude, creativity, or peace, you feed the light. That orb expands, brightens, and strengthens your magnetic field, drawing to you circumstances that match its high frequency. But when you dwell in resentment, anxiety, or helplessness, you feed the shadow. It thickens, it lowers your vibration, and it starts attracting matching realities: struggle, stagnation, scarcity. The Masons, one of the oldest and most structured secret societies, once taught, where the mind lingers, energy converges. This isn't just spiritual theory, it's energetic law. The size, strength, and resonance of each orb directly correlates with the experiences you invite into your life. When the positive orb becomes dominant, it overrides the negative, lifting your entire vibrational signature. As a result, the manifestation process becomes quicker, clearer, and more aligned. And here's what makes this truly transformative. You are not at the mercy of these energy spheres. You are their creator. By becoming conscious of which emotions you dwell in, you become the architect of your own energetic ecosystem. And in that sacred space, manifestation is no longer an accident. It becomes a deliberate art. But what empowers this entire process, what truly accelerates manifestation, is a truth so simple it's often overlooked: the power of the present moment. In the secret teachings of the Rosicrucians, there was a recurring phrase: in the embrace of the present lies the magic of the future. They understood that the universe responds not just to thought, not even just to emotion, but to presence. When you feel joy now, not someday, not when the goal is reached, but now, you are declaring vibrational readiness. You are lighting a signal fire across dimensions, saying, I am in harmony with what I desire. The universe listens. That joy becomes a catalyst. It's not just comfort, it's momentum. And without it, even the clearest intention can feel stuck or slow to bloom. So the next time you feel that spark of joy, that moment of laughter, or that surge of peaceful gratitude, don't dismiss it. Don't postpone happiness until the manifestation arrives. Because paradoxically, it is happiness that invites the manifestation. And finally, there is one more principle that brings it all together: consistency. Projecting your desires into the universe once is like whispering into the wind. But doing it consistently again and again with focused emotion and unwavering presence is like building an echo chamber that amplifies your call. Consistency is not repetition for repetition's sake. It's a sacred commitment. It's the silent vow that says, even when I'm tired, I will believe. Even when nothing has changed, I will keep showing up. Even when fear tempts me to quit, I will continue to hold the vision. That is where the magic lives, in the quiet persistence, in the heartbeat of belief. Because manifestation is not a wish, it is a walk. And those who walk with clarity, feeling, and intention inevitably arrive at the destination they once dreamed into being. Previously, we uncovered how present moment joy and emotional consistency act as powerful signals to the universe. But there's another equally vital ingredient in the alchemy of manifestation: belief. Not just belief in theory, but belief stretched to its outermost edges. In the ancient texts echoed in whispers within cloaked chambers in candlelit halls, one principle resounds again and again: to manifest a harmonious, fulfilled life, you must cultivate not only consistency of action, but consistency of emotion and belief. It's not enough to send a signal once. You must create a rhythm, a steady pulse that ripples through your reality and becomes a melody the universe can't help but respond to. When you combine emotional intent with consistent practice, you are no longer simply wishing. You are engaging in a sacred dialogue with the cosmos. It's no longer a monologue of hope. It's a conversation of co-creation. You express, the universe echoes. You feel, and it responds. You become not a beggar of miracles, but a partner in manifestation. Among the countless teachings preserved by secret orders like the Rosicrucians, the Freemasons, and the Hermetic brotherhoods, one concept continually rises to the surface: the expansion of believability. Why is that so important? Because belief is the gatekeeper of reality. You can only create what you truly allow yourself to believe is possible. Here's where most people falter unintentionally. They desire big things, yet their inner world is quietly whispering limits. That's too much. That kind of life is for other people. I'm not ready. I'm not worthy. And so the universe mirrors back those limits, not because it's cruel, but because it's faithful to the emotional blueprint you've offered. But secret societies understood this trap. They knew that to unlock extraordinary power, one must first stretch the container of belief gently, consistently, and deliberately. It begins with a spark, a single kernel of hope, a fragile, flickering flame. But under the right care, with daily attention and emotional warmth, that flame grows. It expands, reaching beyond the previously accepted walls of possibility. And soon, what once seemed unthinkable begins to feel imaginable, even inevitable. Let's use a simple image to bring this to life. Picture a child standing before a blank canvas, brush in hand, unsure where to start. The canvas is vast, white, intimidating. The possibilities are infinite. At first, the child may hesitate, overwhelmed by the magnitude of creation. But then comes a brushstroke, then another, a bit of blue, a splash of gold. Slowly, with each gesture of courage, the child discovers something astonishing, not just what they can do, but who they really are. That's how belief grows. Every time you challenge a self-imposed limitation, every time you act despite doubt, every time you envision something greater, even when your present circumstances don't match, you paint, you shape, you manifest. This is not theory, it's practice, it's process, and it's been proven time and again by those who walk the esoteric path in silence. Throughout history, practitioners of these hidden philosophies have brought to life what others labeled fantasy. Their achievements weren't random or accidental. They were engineered through belief, consistency, emotional mastery, and spiritual alignment. Belief becomes a bridge, one that spans the distance between idea and reality. Without it, your vision remains a ghost. With it, your dreams take form, gaining weight, presence, and dimension. But belief is not something that happens overnight. It is built brick by brick, thought by thought. It must be trained and tended like a sacred garden. So how do you start? By noticing where your beliefs are capped, by becoming aware of the silent no's hiding behind your desires, and by challenging those beliefs with evidence both real and imagined. Start by telling yourself a new story, a story where you are allowed to succeed, where it's safe to want what you want, where the life calling to you isn't ridiculous, it's righteous. And then return to the foundations. Set clear intentions. Know what you desire and why it matters. Align your emotions. Feel the result before it shows up. Let joy be your guide, not your reward. Practice rhythmic consistency. Speak it, feel it, move toward it daily, no matter how small the steps. Prioritize emotional recovery. When doubt, fear, or fatigue visit, don't panic. Rest, recalibrate, and realign. Because this is not a one-time ritual. It's a lifestyle of energetic alignment. It's the invisible current flowing beneath every choice you make. As we peel back the layers of secrecy, it becomes clear that manifestation is not reserved for mystics and initiates. The power has always been within reach for anyone willing to learn the laws and live the rhythm. To those who dare to explore these ancient principles and apply them with heart and consistency, the universe reveals itself not as a force of chance, but as a mirror of your vibrational truth. And so the once veiled path begins to open, not because the rules have changed, but because you have.